Now, whether it is for work or pleasure, most of us rely heavily on our mobile phones and on broadband. So when we're faced with problems relating to either of them, it can cause a lot of frustration. The charity Citizens Advice says more than 35,000 people have asked them for help with a mobile or broadband issue over the last year, more than double the number who did in 2020. Well, the findings come just before millions of customers are set to face price hikes from the end of this month. The charity says UK consumers had more complaints about mobile and broadband providers than any other essential services market, and that consumers have no way of making their own voices heard.
Over the last few years, we've seen inflation busting price rises. And unfortunately, in the next few weeks, prices will be rising again for consumers. And worryingly, what we're seeing is that service and standards don't seem to be going up in the same way that prices are. That's why we think it's essential that the consumer voice is well represented and stood up for. And like in other essential sectors like energy and water, where there is a statutory voice to represent consumer needs, something like this must be set up in telecoms immediately.
Interesting idea. Let's talk to the consumer journalist Harry Kind, who is here with us. We're talking there about... Morning, Harry. Talking about some kind of a statutory body to represent people like we have for water or utilities. Would that help?
I think it really would. You know, we need to take broadband seriously as a utility. It's not, something a luxury for us geeks to have. It is something that is essential for everyone to be able to exist in society, to claim the benefits they're entitled to get the good deals that they need, to do their homework even. It's an essential utility, and so to have a consumer advocate would potentially mean that instead of having really shoddy customer service and really a system that isn't necessarily fit for purpose, we would have someone actually fighting for our rights.
I was just about to say, is that the reason that you see more complaints about mobiles and broadbands? Because there isn't somebody... You're on your own, effectively, if you have an issue, and there's no one holding their feet to the fire.
I mean, if you look at the difference between the financial sector, where we've got something like 4% complaints and then 16% coming from broadband, a 4 times difference. Now, if someone told you that there are 4 times as more complaints about anything than bankers, then you would be surprised. That is because there is more regulation in those sectors, and so those sectors have a responsibility to have good customer service, to look after their customers, to make sure that there are better accessibility, that there are fewer technical problems. And what Citizens Advice say is that they have been the consumer advocate for energy customers, and that has paid dividends. They've actually paid for themselves 30 times over in the savings they've made for customers because they are people fighting for your rights.
We know that consumers get very, very frustrated by this. What is the advice and what can you do if you have a problem?
I think, really, we have a responsibility to vote with our feet on this. If you have bad customer service, then you need to leave. You need to switch contract. And that goes for mobile, that goes for broadband. Because so many people, something like 8.8 million people, are actually at the end of their broadband contracts. They could go any time that they want to. And really, I would say to people, if you're paying more than something like £30 a month for broadband, you can do better. There are more fish in the sea. There are deals out there for something like £16 a month. And if you're on universal credit and other benefits, you might be able to get broadband with a social tariff for as cheap as £12 a month. So if you get any customer service, you say, that's it, I'm going to get a better deal, I'm going to get faster speeds, and I'm going to get someone who looks after me.
It's a really interesting one, isn't it? I think part of the problem is you feel hooked in, don't you? I know in my own situation, you've got the bit of kit they send you and everything else, and but you've got to just bite the bullet.
That's what they want you to think, right? They want you to be
difficult.
stuck there. They want you to think, oh, what a pain it will be. And actually, it has improved massively over the last even 5 years. If you are switching mobile provider, all you need to do is speak to the new offer and say, I want to switch, and they will guide you through the process. It can happen within days. You won't have a massive downtime. You can do it all over text even, and you can save money instantly. Same with broadband. It has become quicker and quicker to switch. And don't think, better the devil I know. Actually, most of them are working on the same network anyway. So if you've got good signal with one, you're going to have good signal with the other in most cases. And it's just going to be the customer service and the price that changes.
I was just going to say price.
Yeah.
Due to go up in April. So what can consumers do to kind of mitigate that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be switch again. But the problem is, if you're locked into a contract, chances are the cost of exit, those exit penalties, are going to be higher than the increase in price. Now, Ofcom have changed the rules on this for the first time, that for new customers now, you will be told at the beginning of your contract how much prices will go up. There will be people who are on their old contracts who in April will have an inflation-linked price rise, and they will, be surprised. I'm hoping, really, with the new Ofcom rules, because we know what we're going to be paying over the course of the 2-year contract, people will be able to bargain better, choose a better option and not be surprised by price rises. But ultimately, just check, am I still within my contract? When it comes to mobile, text info to 85075, and that will tell you if you're in your contract or out of your contract, and then you can switch, save yourself some money.
Easy as that.
Easy as that. 85075.
Wow.
Brilliant. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's the one helpful takeaway of the morning, right? Isn't it?
Well, we all do that. Let's get the news, the travel and the weather where you are.